The desert stretched endlessly under the twin suns of Virilax 5, its golden dunes rippling like an ocean frozen midwave. The air shimmered with heat, and every grain of sand felt like a branding iron beneath bare skin. She stumbled. Princess Zelira, heir to the Sindari throne, fell to her knees, her violet skin coated in grime and sweat, her lips cracked, her silver eyes dulled from exhaustion. She was naked, stripped not only of her silken robes but of her titles, her family's protection, and her former life. Hours earlier, she'd been surrounded by her royal convoy, traveling under an escort of high-born warriors and elite guards, their anti-grav skiffs gliding across the sands. Then came the explosion. Saboteurs. She remembered the shrieking of engines as her vessel spun out of control, the cries of guards slaughtered by plasma fire, and the look on her cousin Malvaris's face as he whispered, "The throne is mine now." He'd pushed her out of the skiff, nude and unarmed. Not for modesty's sake, but as punishment. In Sindari culture, to be seen in public without one's royal regalia was worse than death. It symbolized disgrace. Zelira was no longer a princess, she was prey. She crawled up a dune and collapsed on its peak, gasping for air. In the distance, a black dot shimmered. It was a figure walking toward her. Human. Of all things, it was a human. Middle. Darius Cole had seen a lot of strange things during his years as a field scout for the Interplanetary Peace Corps. Desolate moons, acid rainfalls, psychic fungi. But a naked alien princess stranded in a Virilax desert. This was new. He approached cautiously, weapon holstered but hand near the grip. "Hey," he called out. "You alive?" The alien flinched and tried to rise. Her body trembled. Her long lavender hair clung to her sweat-slicked back, and her silver eyes, though dimmed, carried a fierce glint. "I'm not your prize," she hissed in accented Terran. Darius stopped 10 paces away, raising his hands. "Good news. I don't collect prizes. You're hurt. Let me help." She stared at him, jaw clenched. "I'm a field medic. I've got water, shade, and a calm beacon." He tossed his canteen toward her gently. It landed in the sand, splashing. She stared at it. Then, slowly, with trembling fingers, she drank. He set up a collapsible shade canopy while she sat silently beneath it, wrapped in his spare jacket. She didn't thank him. Not once. But she didn't run either. Only after she had rested did she speak again. "You are from Earth." "Yeah," he replied, crouching by a flickering comm unit. "Darius Cole, Peace Corps scout. You." Was Princess Zelira of the Sindari High House." He blinked. "Royalty. Not anymore." She explained everything. How her cousin betrayed her, how the throne was seized, and how her fall from grace had been broadcast to ensure no one would come for her. In Sindari law, any noble who is seen unclothed by a non-consort is unworthy to rule, especially by an outsider. Her voice cracked with bitterness. Darius tilted his head. "That's some messed up law." She glared at him. "You don't understand our culture." "No, but I understand cruelty." Zelira turned away, but not before he saw the way her lip trembled. That night, a sandstorm rolled in. They huddled beneath the canopy, Darius anchoring it with every tool he had. The wind screamed like dying beasts, and sand bit into every exposed inch of skin. Zelira clung to him out of necessity, her body trembling against his. Her pride had cracked slightly. She no longer pulled away when he offered her water or when he lent his warmth. "I was raised to rule over 10,000 stars," she murmured in the dark. "Now I need help just to stand." "You're still alive," Darius whispered. "You're still fighting. That counts." She was quiet for a long time before whispering, "Why are you helping me?" Darius shrugged. "I became a scout because I believe all life is worth saving. Doesn't matter if you're a princess or a prisoner. I don't need a reason. Even if you get nothing in return. I don't want anything." She shifted slightly. "That makes you dangerous." "How so?" "Because it makes me want to trust you." The next day, the comm unit received a signal. A Sindari cruiser was inbound. "They're looking for you," Darius said, narrowing his eyes. "Might not be friendly." "They won't be," Zalaira confirmed. "Malvaris will want to make sure I'm dead." Darius looked at the beacon. "We could hide. Or I could bluff them." Zalaira turned to him, alarmed. "You would risk death for me. For someone you barely know." He gave her a half-smile. "I've faced worse odds. Plus, you're starting to grow on me." She rolled her eyes. But her hand lingered near his. Climax. When the Sindari skiff descended from the sky, Darius stood alone on the dune, rifle slung casually, eyes squinting against the dust. The hatch opened. Out stepped 3 armored guards and a man in black silks. Malvaris himself. "Human," Malvaris sneered. "We're tracking a fugitive. Have you seen a violet-skinned female? She would be unclothed and disoriented." Darius shrugged. "Nope. Just sand and scorpions." Malvaris narrowed his eyes. "You lie." Darius smiled. "What would I gain from lying?" Malvaris raised a hand, and the guards aimed their rifles. "Let me clarify, she is disgraced. Anyone who shelters her is aiding a traitor. That makes you an enemy of the throne." At that moment, the canopy behind the dune exploded in a burst of heat and smoke. Malvaris turned in alarm, but it was too late. Zalaira leapt from cover, now dressed in a scavenged battlesuit Darius had helped piece together. She moved like fire and struck like lightning. 1 guard fell. Another missed his shot and caught Darius's boot to the face. In seconds, the 2 had dismantled the team and cornered Malvaris. He snarled. "You would kill your own blood." "You are no kin of mine," Zalaira said coldly. He lunged. She met him head-on. Their struggle was brief but brutal. Malvaris underestimated the strength of someone who had survived the desert, betrayal, and shame. When it was over, he lay unconscious at her feet. Zalaira turned to Darius. "You risked everything for me." He gave her a tired smile. "I told you. Some things are just worth it." Ending. Zalaira's reinstatement to the throne did not come easy. She returned not as a princess, but as a warrior who had survived the impossible and proved her claim through combat and conviction. The old traditions bent in her wake, not broken but reshaped. She told the High Council the truth. About Malvaris, the betrayal, and about the human who saved her. And when they questioned her purity, about being seen unclothed, she stood tall and said, "Then perhaps it is your law that is impure. For I was not shamed. I was saved. By someone more honorable than any noble here." The chamber went silent. The law was repealed 3 cycles later. Darius remained beside her through the ordeal. At her side during trials, silent during court sessions, and always near when her resolve began to waver. Eventually, when the battles ended and peace returned, she summoned him to the royal terrace. "You could leave now," she said. "Earth would welcome a hero." He shrugged. "Maybe. But I'd miss the view." He smirked. "Is that all?" "No," he said softly. "I'd miss you." She stepped closer. "I once thought shame came from being seen. But now I know, true shame is in hiding who we are." And with that she took his hand. No longer hidden. No longer afraid.